Hey my babies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Simply Seronia back with another video, and today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to do a lace closure quick weave. So right now I'm just starting with my hair. I already parted and this is where I'm gonna put my parts. I'm just separating it so it'll be easier for me to braid, and right now I'm just gonna do some braids going straight back and try to get them as flat as possible, just so to make my closure lay down flat. So what I'm doing here is taking my closure and I'm measuring it up because I want my part to match my closure, my part in the middle and my part for my braids, so I can have something to sew the hair down to. So I want to make sure it lines up perfectly. So once you have all of your braids braided down, and I just match one side with the other side so to make it easier to sew down and so that it'll be even when I lay my closure, you're just gonna take your cap and pull it as tight as possible to make the cap more transparent, and it'll be easier for you to match your skin when you're trying to blend your scalp or your fake scalp and your skin, so it'll look more natural is what I'm trying to say. And I'm just making sure my closure is lined up evenly with my braids. And what I did for this part is I got an elastic band and I just sewed it down to the side of my closure just so it'd be easier for me to move the closure forward and move it back and to the side, and so I can sew it down evenly and I don't have to worry about it being crooked. So what I'm going to do now is sew down the closure. So I just started in the middle of the back of my closure and I just started sewing down. If you know how to sew, then you could do it your own way to make sure it's as secure as you want it. But if you're new to sewing, the best way I can describe it is after you put the needle through the braid, you're just gonna try to put the needle between the two strands of thread and just pull as tight as possible. And the reason I was trying to line my closure up with my braids is for this part, to make sure that it was easier for me to sew it down. For when I sew it to the side, I won't be stretching and pulling on the closure and ripping holes in it. So that's why it is so important for you to line your closure up with your braids. So once you have your closure sewed down on all sides, you're just going to move on to the bundles. And I got this hair in 10 inch, 12 inch, and 14 inch. And because I'm doing a bob, I want it all to be basically the same length. So I'm going to start with the shorter bundle and just put it in the back right at the edge of my hairline. I guess that's where you would say. And I just use this bonding glue, which costs $1 at the dollar store. And at first you want to measure the hair. That's what I was doing at first. I measured the hair, and then once I cut it, I put the glue on, and I'm just going to glue it down. And to have a better hold, I got my got to be, and I sprayed all over my cap first of all, and then after I put the glue on and I put the track on, I sprayed again, and then I blow dried. Because you know, your girl gotta stay secure. Ain't nobody got time for their tracks to be falling out everywhere. So once I have those 2 or 3 tracks laid, what I did was cut a hole in my cap and kind of wrapped it around my ear just to make sure that my cap don't move, because now I'm going to start gluing it down with my got to be and making sure that it stays, because I'm going to start gluing the tracks above my ear now and getting closer to the closure. So once I have that set, I'm just going to grab my got to be glue, and I always use the invisible because it worked way better for me. And I'm just going to lay that on my edges just so I don't put bonding glue on it, just to kind of keep the bonding glue off it. So I just put that on there, and then I'm just going to start gluing down the tracks again once I have it dry. So once I've made it here, I want to start focusing more on my closure. So what I'm gonna do is put down some more got to be, and this time I used the invincible got to be gel, and I also used the I think it's called blast free spray, the got to be, just for a better hold and to make my cap more transparent when I'm laying my hair, laying the closure, just so it look more like my scalp. And I'm just gonna blow dry my hair on cool, and then once that dry, I'm just gonna add another layer. So once I have that dry, I'm just gonna grab my scissors. Y'all, usually I would use better scissors, but I could not find them for the life of me, so don't judge me for using meat cutter scissors. But we're just gonna cut off all that cap that you don't need, and then once you have that done, I'm just gonna stretch it down to see if this where I really want my closure to be. As you can see, it was still way too far down, so I put it up some more. And just be careful if you're not using shears, because as you can see, I cut it too high on accident because the scissors were too big, but it's okay as long as you have like your concealer or your makeup and some more got to be, you good, girl. We can fix this problem real fast, and I'll show y'all how I did that. So right now I'm just cutting off the elastic. Y'all, I am not cutting my thread I use to lay down my closure. I'm not cutting that. I am cutting the elastic off. So y'all, please do not cut it off. I feel like I'm talking so much, and I'm so sorry if I'm talking a lot. I just feel like I have to explain like everything I do because, like, you know, it's a meaning for everything. So I just put my bonding glue right there because the only reason I didn't sew it down was, first of all, it's on my edges basically, and I don't want thread pulling on my edges because been there, done that, and it pulls out your hair. Versus putting bonding glue on a cap, it won't pull out your hair at all. And second of all, it makes it more flat. Instead of being like bulky thread underneath the closure, it'll just lay flat like it's your own scalp. So once I finish that, I just grab my my makeup, or you can use concealer, whichever one best match your skin tone, and you're just gonna put it on the cap. And you see it was still like a grayish color, so I just added more to my closure because this hair store hair, it was really hard to bleach and it just wasn't working out for me, so I just added more makeup to it to make it look more like my scalp. So what I'm gonna do now is cut off all this excess cap because we don't need it, sis. We don't need it. So you're just gonna cut all of that off, and y'all, once y'all get to the back, it's gonna be hard. So if you need to, phone a friend, grab you about 4 mirrors, get you some smaller scissors. Don't use meat cutters because it was, look how I'm struggling. It was just a struggle. So don't be like me. Call somebody, or, you know, be more careful. Another tip is, do not, I repeat, do not use this color cap if this is not your skin tone, because as y'all saw in the front, you can still see some of the cap. So once the wind started blowing, all your hair started blowing back, and then boom, all you see is like this little yellowish color cap, and it's not cute. So what I did was, y'all, I'm ratchet. all I did was add makeup to it to make it black, so it just looked like my hair. I just did that later on. Y'all, I'm really trying to talk as less as possible, but I also want y'all to know like every detail of what I did. So what I'm doing now is cutting off this lace that I don't need because it's just sitting on my forehead. I'm just cutting that off, and I really prefer to use eyebrow razors. What do you call those? Eyebrow archer razors? I don't know. I prefer to use those, but I didn't have any, of course, so I just used the scissors. And then once it lifts up, I just laid it back down where my got to be. And what I'm doing now is using my mousse just to lay down the hair so I can pluck. I learned that it's better to pluck on your head because you can actually see how the lace is looking on your hair, and you can see how natural it's looking or how fake it's looking. So I'm just gonna start plucking this part, and once I'm done with that, I'm gonna pluck my baby hairs. And y'all, when I say this hair was so hard to bleach, like you see all those black knots, but it's okay because I'm just gonna add makeup to make it look more like my real scalp. And what I'm doing now is just plucking the front so it'll look more natural. And y'all, the white stuff is just the Got To Be blast free spray. It just turned all white. So once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna style my edges how I like to style my edges, and then wrap it up. And that's basically the end of the video, y'all. I'm really feeling this hair. It gives me like summer business meeting vibes. I don't even know what that is, but that's what it's giving me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I did a good job explaining what I was doing, and I hope it's easier for y'all to, you know, do your own hair one day. And I love you guys. Bye.